Today I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm thinking for the direction of this channel now that we're in April here of 2024. And then I want to put it to you guys to give me some feedback in the comments section to let me know how you feel about this and if you have any suggestions for me. So when I started regularly posting on this channel, it was like November of 2023. And that was a time, the winter basically in Canada, when you're in the film industry like I am, where there's a huge slowdown in work for a ton of different reasons, logistical and otherwise. The industry slows down quite a bit in the winter and work really disappears. So I had a lot of time on my hands last year, as I have in previous years, but that time I decided I was going to start doing this. And it's really surprised me how much people have come out and enjoyed my content and have subscribed, and I'm so happy to see that people enjoy what I'm doing. 2 days a week has kind of been my thing since I started. It wasn't exactly 2 days a week, but it's kind of become my rhythm, at least 2024 it has. But now that I'm back to work, pretty much like slammed with work once again, it's getting hard to do all of this at once. The film industry is not a 9 to 5. It is more like a 5 to 9. Like the days are very long. They're at least 12-hour days, and they're not 5 days a week. Sometimes they can be 10 days a week, not actually, but I'm leaving tomorrow for work on the other side of the country, and I'm gone for 12 days, and that's 12 days of work in a row, basically 12-hour days. So it's hard to fit in all of the YouTube stuff on top of that. I find myself spending a couple hours each night chipping away at videos. It's like a bit tiring to do all of this stuff on top of working a very demanding job, but it's very creatively gratifying, and it's just fun. So it's something that I want to go deeper into this year. And as more and more people are joining in to watch what's happening on my channel, I have more of a desire to give it more time. In order to give it more time, I have to take away some time from my job. Basically, I'm trying to figure out if I was trying to pay my bills to an extent with YouTube so I could dedicate more time to it, what's the best way to approach that still aligns with this channel, that doesn't make my audience feel alienated. I can sleep at night feeling good about it, but I'm also able to eat. So I'll tell you where I've landed on this. Basically, let me lay out my preliminary idea for this channel. So I want to keep doing 2 days a week of videos. I want to go a little bit deeper and, show some of the things I'm doing as well, more than just talking. I make some of my own toiletries, like I make candles. I do a lot of DIY stuff, and I want to do even more. I want to learn a little bit more about repairing things and making my own things, and a little bit more self-sufficiency in that respect. So I want to bring those things as I learn them to the channel as well. So there will be some of that in the channel. And then generally they'll just be more of the same. And I would like to just do these things a little bit better just by giving them a little bit more time. But then I want to go deeper into doing interviews with people as well. I don't want to just point the camera at me all the time. I would like to also hear from other people and bring their experiences to this channel as well. Kind of crowdsource more voices and bring them here. There's some authors and some bloggers and different creators that I actually follow who I would love to chat with about the topics that are pertinent to this channel and then put them out on this channel. So I think that could be the form of a video podcast as well as an audio form, obviously, of the podcast as well. People have also asked for me to set up a Discord server so we could kind of actually crowdsource information more efficiently as a community. And that's something that I also want to put a little bit more attention to as well, because it's something that I thought was a great idea. I just haven't had the time to sit down and figure that out. I also like to write, and I want to write my ideas. I've had different blogs in the past. I'm not sure if I want to write on something like a personal blog, like I code my own blog, or go with a Squarespace or something like that, or whether I want to do something like a Substack. But I do want to share my writings on similar things to what the channel is about as well. So just kind of offer a few other avenues for finding this type of information through me, but not necessarily video only. Especially with the podcasts, when I'm driving around, I like to listen to a podcast, but sometimes I would just like to listen to the audio of a YouTube video. And listening to it through the YouTube app is just kind of annoying. It's worse on your phone because you have all this data that you're using to stream the video. Whereas if you could get a podcast and download it, it would be more efficient. So I wish that more creators would just extract the audio of their videos and put them as a podcast. That's something I think I might just do regardless of if I even get to doing the interviews. I would just extract videos like this as audio and put it out as a pod. I want to talk, I guess, as well about more Buy It for Life items. Buy It for Life is a bit of a misnomer. You have to still do maintenance on items. You can't just buy something and expect it to last through usage infinitely most of the time. You still have to care for things and maintain and sometimes repair them. And then they may last a lifetime. So I want to talk a little bit about that idea while also talking about certain products that I feel meet that criteria. For funding this channel and allowing me to give more time, and I'm going to have to invest in a little bit of gear to do this podcast thing. I want to do kind of a hybrid model of some advertisements and then also some user supported with benefits for doing so. One of my favorite podcasts that I listen to every week is a podcast about Canadian politics and media criticism. It's called Canadaland. Canadaland is a small, independent media company that is basically completely online. They have a podcast and many actual podcasts, and they also did a docu-series as well, but they basically operate all through funding, like crowdfunding through their viewers. Canadaland also does advertisements. Like if you listen to their podcast, without paying, you can have access to every podcast that they put out, but you're going to have to hear a bunch of mattress ads at the beginning for Casper and Endy and various other things. If you want to pay though, if you choose to support their podcast network and have access to 10 podcasts they put out a month or something, it's $10 a month. And then you get everything ad free after that. How that's going to shake out in my mind is working with a few different brands to put out some integrated advertisements on these YouTube videos. I'll try to put something that is like a bar at the bottom so you can skip ahead of it if you don't care. I'm only going to pick products to mention or services to mention that I feel align somewhat with my channel, not something that's going to be completely out of left field and bizarre to be on my channel. I've had so many random companies reach out to me, like things like pasta bowls for dogs, random computer parts and power bars for your computer, and just random things like that that are just kind of too specific and I would never make a video on it. There are some brands that have reached out to me that I feel do align with what I'm doing, so I have kind of kept them on deck, not really figured it out. And that's something that I would want to go forward with in the future. What I'm looking for are companies that have a product or service that is related to what my channel is actually about, that people would get value from hearing about or maybe actually purchasing if it's something that they need. And then I want to just share it with you guys. I don't mind partnering up with brands if I think that that is going to, provide value to the viewer. If you're looking for a certain product or service and to share that with you, if it somewhat aligns with the values of the channel, that it benefits both of us, that is fine with me. But I do want to assure you that I am going to be very judicious with the types of ads that I take. I don't want to make you buy stuff you don't need. I don't also want to fill landfills with products that people don't need. I just kind of want you to be able to buy these things if you need them, and if you don't need them, just leave them behind and just watch the rest of the video, and I hope it's not too intrusive on your experience of watching the video. So the second thing is that I would like to set up a Patreon in the future or a Buy Me a Coffee or something like that. I'm leaning more toward Patreon, and I think what I would do is have some sort of access to ad-free videos on there. So if you want to watch it through here, think of it like watching Tubi TV or something. You have access to these videos and all the stuff that's in them, but you're just going to see an ad and then have some YouTube placed ads throughout as well. But if you wanted to pay on Patreon and support me through that, then I can upload a video that has no ads placed by YouTube and also pull the integrated ad out as well. So it'd be completely ad-free video from that if you want to support me through there. So I do think that that is a good model. Putting ads out will help me do this more often. It'll help me dedicate more time to it. it'll help me get things that I want to use for videos. I bought a couple of dumb phones to test. I bought a writing tool that is a distraction-free tool for writers. And I paid out of pocket for all that stuff because I want to bring it to the channel and show you guys. And that kind of helps cover some of the costs of that stuff as well, is by having brand partnerships. But if you feel like you have the money to support me and you want to support me, then you can do so on something like Patreon. And for that, you will get the ads completely stripped out of the videos, and you will have certainly a closer connection to actually get a hold of me through Patreon, because it'll be a smaller community and I will be active commenting back on there for sure. But I'm still going to be pretty active commenting on here, as I always am. When some videos like go kind of crazy with the views, I can't get back to all of them anymore. It becomes like too antithetical to my channel to respond to comments for 2 hours a night or something to keep up with them. It makes my head hurt, and I feel like I'm just not living in alignment with my channel. So I can only get back to a certain amount of commenters, but I read pretty well everything that is sent in the comment section, and I appreciate everybody for reaching out when you do. This is something that I love doing, and I want to dedicate more time to it. I would do it if I didn't make any money. I have been doing it, not really making any money, and that's been fine, but I want to dedicate more and more time to it because this is awesome. And it's like, if I can dedicate nearly full time to it, then I would love to. So if I can find a way to make that work, that it still makes my channel feel the way that it always feels, and people are happy with the level of, brand enmeshment with the channel, I guess, and then or supporting it themselves, then yeah, I want to go ahead and do it that way. I don't really know how else to talk about this. It's kind of a weird video to make. I don't think a lot of creators do this, but I think more people should. I think being transparent on YouTube is kind of what people want. It's what I would love to hear from creators. A lot of people make these what I made in the first month monetized videos and stuff, but a lot of people don't say, audience, should I monetize? Should I run advertisements? Are you okay with me running advertisements? And would you support me on something like Patreon in an effort to avoid advertisements? I think more people should consider talking about it this openly, and I hope you guys were okay with the fact that I did and maybe appreciated it. I'm going to put this out pretty soon because I want to get your opinions and start dedicating more time to this as soon as possible. So let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. I really would love, and I would implore you to comment. I want to hear from you. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.